Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? I hope you're all doing well. There are already quite a few of you in here, and I have to say I really appreciate it. My name is Jason Krutzky. It is a great pleasure to be with you this lovely Wednesday morning for another TrendSpider Office Hours session. What's up? Donatus, how we doing? Hope you're well today, sir or ma'am. I'm not sure, but I hope you're well. If you're just tuning in for the first time to a TrendSpider Office Hours session, these sessions are all about you guys. I'm here to answer your questions about TrendSpider. I'm here to... Oh, right on. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate you, sir. Hope you're well. I'm here to answer any questions you guys have about the platform. I also know that sometimes you guys can be a little bit shy and maybe you don't know what questions to ask, or you don't have any specific questions that you're looking to get answered. You're just here to, learn something about TrendSpider. So today I've come with a little bit of a plan of something I want to show you guys. If you'd like to see stuff, I can show you stuff. And I got it up on my screen right now, but I'm going to give it a moment before I just start jumping into stuff that I want to talk about. I want to give it a moment for you guys to tell me what you want me to talk about. So if you have anything in particular that you're curious about, if you're here for the first time, if you're perhaps taking advantage of our St. Patrick's Day sale, where you can save up to 67% on a TrendSpider yearly account, and you've just signed up because you've been waiting for this great deal to come along and now it's here. Maybe you have questions, like introductory questions about the platform, which of course I'm happy to help with that too. All right, so what do we got? Raindrop candles. You just started using them, but you notice your strategies calculate differently than generic. Yeah, that they do, because you have two different data points in your raindrop candles than you do in your standard candles. Let's talk about it really quick. I'm going to turn off indicators here and turn on raindrop can. Well, let's go with the basics. All right, I'm going to zoom in like crazy here just so that we can look at it. You've got your standard Japanese candle is what? You got an open, high, low, close, right? With a raindrop candle, you have the high and the low, but you don't have the open and the close. You have the VWAPs. So a raindrop candle has two sides, a left and a right-hand side. And each one of those sides represents 1/2 of the time frame. So I'm going to just throw it on the hourly here so things are even. So right here, this is the first hour of the trading day on the QQQ right here. And on the left-hand side, you've got the first 30 minutes of that first hourly bar, and on the right hand side you've got the second 30 minutes, or the second half of that hourly bar. And on either side you've got horizontal little bars here, and these horizontal bars represent the VWAP for that half of the time frame. So here on the QQQ, the volume weighted average price in the first 30 minutes was 441.42. The volume weighted average price in the second 30 minutes was 440.37. So these are going to be your two alternative data points. Instead of the open and the close, you have the VWAPs. So that is probably why things are changing for you. Do not use Heikin-Ashis. Well, no, you can use Heikin-Ashis. Don't use Heikin-Ashi in the strategy tester. Those values are derived from calculations. The Heikin-Ashi, all of the values that are contained within a Heikin-Ashi candle are calculations. They're not actual dollar amounts that were on the live market. So don't use that in your strategy tester. Donatus, have I noticed sometimes watch lists, refresh, returns, timeout, long time to load? I haven't noticed that, but if you are noticing that, maybe you can give me some specific, is there a specific watch list in which that's happening for you? If it's all watch lists, then what I'm going to tell you to do, Donatus, if you can kind of describe a little bit more about what you're experiencing, and send it in the chat. I can send your experience directly to our dev team so that they can know about it. Perhaps maybe tell me, like, if it's a particular watch list, which watch list is it? If it's a shared one or one that's already pre-built on the platform. If it's something that you built, I need to know, like, at least some of the tickers that are in it, specifically the tickers that are giving you trouble. Perhaps it's something that's low float. Perhaps it's something that doesn't update often because it's, I don't know, maybe an index, or maybe doesn't have a ton of volume. But 10-minute Chandi absolute trend strength lower. Index greater than 95. 10-minute Chandi momentum oscillator. All right, so hold on 1 second. I don't know if it's that it's too big of a watch list, but are you saying that the watch list doesn't update properly, or are you saying that the indicator doesn't update? Kind of a little confused. It's interesting that you bring up chats, though, because that was something that I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to kind of teach you guys all about chats and how to use it. So that's cool that you're using it, because then you'll perhaps be familiar with the things that I'm talking about, but maybe I can teach you something about it. Okay, so you're scanning for chats criteria utilizing a scanner in the watch list, right? Or utilizing a scanner as a watch list. So let me kind of show you guys what Donatus is talking about here. Our watch lists are more than just watch lists. You can actually load scanners into watch lists. So you're looking for 10-minute candles upon which the chat's indicator is greater than or equal to 95. So let's do something really quick. I'm going to create this scanner. So we're going to say condition. We're going to say indicator 10-minute chats. Index is greater than or equal to a constant value of 95. And what scan through list are you utilizing, Donatus? Let's just pretend, I'm just going to pretend for a moment, that perhaps you're using, I don't know, the 500. Actually, let's use the 100. Custom, your own. Okay, that's good to know. I would be curious to know the tickers that are in it, but let's do this. So I'm going to say scan. So here's all of the names in the S&P 100 that have a chats value greater than or equal to 95. I'm going to say save. Oop, let me retitle this. So let's say chats. Ah, darn, hold on. 95, and then let's do this. We'll go chats greater than or equal to 95. We're going to say save. And then I'm going to come over here to my watch list. I'm going to click on the drop-down menu. I'm going to search chats. So that scanner that I just made is available here in my watch list. So I'm going to select it. And notice how they're both running. Bang, bang. So here is that scanner of all the names in the S&P 100 that have a chats reading currently of greater than. Let's do this. Ooh, why did it switch to bars? All right, so I've actually got the chats indicator up already. Here's the chats on the candles. Here's the chats lower indicator. This is what Donatus is referring to here. And we can see that the value is currently, what, 96? Or no, it's currently 96.06. So that's why it's meeting this criteria. It's above 95. And you know, presumably every name that we scan through here, if you look down in the bottom right, you'll see that that value in the lower indicator is greater than 95. I'm going to do this, turn this up a little bit so you can kind of see this line a little bit better. Now, if I refresh this, it's going to rerun the scan and give me a new set of names, all the names that are now meeting the criteria. So I am not experiencing the issue that it's slow to load. Now, maybe you're familiar with this, Donatus. Maybe you're not. you do have to manually refresh scanners in the platform. They do not automatically scan. So if you're not aware of that, that's important. In order to refresh a scanner, you can click this refresh button right here, and it will rerun the scan for you. Now I can see, now it's taking a moment, right? It's not loading as fast as it just did 1 minute ago. Is this what you're referring to? All right, so now it's loading up. So now this scanner is working just a little bit more slowly than it did moments ago. Oh, you can't hear me, Eco? Hold up. You really can't hear me? Because on my end, it looks like it's like really loud. Okay, so Donatus, that's what you're referring to. You're just referring to the rate at which... You're just referring to the rate at which these results are coming back to you after you refresh. So it definitely could be a network issue. It could have something to do with your internet connection. If you are experiencing a long lag at all times, what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to reach out to Dev. Okay, cool. So we got it figured out what's going on. What I'm going to ask you to do is, if you are experiencing this all the time, then perhaps what we need to do is we need to talk to Dev specifically about your account. Or maybe you can get an answer based on where you're at. There is a... what's it? Hold on, let me see. Check my internet. So you could do like an internet speed test through your internet provider, and you can see kind of how fast that data is coming back at you. You're 80% volume to hear more than 2x normal. It works that weird. Is anybody else having volume issues with my mic? Is anybody else having trouble hearing me? Because I am cranked over here on my end. Like, I'm almost peaking out from what I can see. So Eco, you might want to check your volume setting on your computer, because maybe your volume setting is okay. Okay, Donatus, you hear me all right. So Donatus, what I would do if I were you, if you are experiencing this issue consistently, like every time you rerun a scan, it's just super slow to load. The first thing I would want to know is how many symbols are... Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all. Eco, sounds like something's going on with your computer, sir. Donatus, voice of an angel. LOL. Donatus, let me know how many symbols are in your watch list. That would be an important piece. How many symbols are there? Is it like a 500 symbol list? Is it a 10 symbol list? Check the Eco, check the volume on your YouTube, on the YouTube stream itself too. Not just like the volume out of your computer. How many symbols? Okay, so 500 symbols in your list. Let's do this then. I'm going to go back to the scanner. I just want to see if I can recreate the issue on my end. And I'm going to switch this to 500. Are they all stocks? Are they... What's the story on them? Are they like cross assets? Are they crypto? Are they Forex? Are they... Obviously, scanning through 500 tickers is going to take longer than scanning through 100. So I'm not surprised to see the results being a little bit slower here. But again, oh, okay, all stocks. Interesting. Definitely slower here with the 500 than with the 100. And again, not surprised. But what I would do, if you are consistently experiencing this issue, it's taken me a moment to get to this. If you're consistently experiencing this issue, click the contact us button and write them and let them know. Tell them, be very specific. Say, I'm scanning for these conditions. And also, you know, how many conditions are within your scanner is important too. If you have a multitude of conditions, sounds like you have like at least 2, right? You have 2 conditions. Tell them exactly what you're scanning for, like all of the conditions you're scanning for. Tell them what's in the list. It doesn't have to be every ticker in the list, but just say I have approximately 500 stocks in this list that I'm scanning through. I can see mine's kind of moving slow too. Tell them how long you've been experiencing this issue for. And they will very likely bring in a dev team member to assist you. And honestly, I'll reach out when I get off this stream. I'll reach out to the dev team and kind of mention it, because I'm noticing it too. It's a little bit slower than I kind of feel like it should be. But you know, I'm not sure. Every indicator is a little bit different as far as like how it's calculated. I know that chats in particular has, you know, chats is more than just this numerical reading. Chats under the hood is like a lot of indicators built in. So maybe there's a chance that it's looking for more than that. So here are all the results now. That took what, maybe 45 seconds for all of them to load up. Is that slow? It's hard to know. It's hard to know, but I would check your internet speed first off. And then if this is something that you have continuously had issues with, then I would write to the support team, tell them, be very specific with what's happening. That's really important. Be very specific with what's happening. The more specific you can be, the better they're going to be able to assist you. So write to them. They will likely bring in a dev team member as an additional layer of support and try and get it figured out for you. And hopefully that's helpful. I'm not sure if that's everything that you need to know, but hopefully that's helpful for you. So, all right. So any other questions from you guys? Or are you kind of down for a little lesson on the chats indicator? That's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. I was presenting yesterday evening for a group of traders. And one of the hosts, one of the guys that's maybe a host of this group of traders, he mentioned that he was really interested in go, no go, in the go, no go indicator. If you're not familiar with go, no go, it's a pretty cool little indicator that is available on the platform. It's a trend indicator, so it's able to, it kind of does something similar to chats where, I'll just add it so you guys can see it. It colors candles. Turn this back on. It colors candles based on the strength of the trend. And so in very, very weak trends, the candles are going to be purple. That's the weakest trend reading. As that weaker trend kind of begins to strengthen a little bit, the candles switch to this light pink color. When a trend is kind of like, the indicator can't tell if it's a positive or a negative trend. When it's kind of just like neutral, the candles are going to be orange. And then you switch into the more positive trend readings of aqua and blue being the strongest trend. So, theoretically, you would want to be short during periods of deep, dark purple. You would want to be kind of on the sidelines for periods of orange. And then you'd want to be kind of long for periods of aqua into blue. And you can use those kind of colors as indications of whether or not you want to be long or short. Theoretically, you could potentially just be long when green or blue, or short when purple or pink, or you can just use this as a visual. Where are we at in the trend right now? If you're just looking for kind of a basic understanding of where we are in the trend. Now, go no go is very cool. But there is one particular limitation that I've personally found with it. And that particular limitation is simply that we cannot scan for it. I can't go in the scanner and say, show me all of the candles in the S&P 100 that are blue on the hourly time frame. I can't do that. However, we have a solution, And the solution, in my opinion, is the chats indicator. So I'm going to put this on a 2-chart view here, and I'm going to turn off Go No Go on this side. I'm going to turn on chats so that you guys can see chats. I'm going to turn this off real quick. Now, is it 1-for-1? No, it's not 1-for-1. You can see clearly it's not 1-for-1. However, it is kind of close. When chats is in its strongest trend readings, you're going to get this bright green color. When chats is in its weakest trend readings, you're going to get this purple color. And then everything that's in between is exactly that, in between. You can utilize either the chats coloring the candles indicator, or you can utilize the chats lower indicator. That's this guy right here. And you can see kind of like where the chats, where the lower indicator kind of shows you everything that's going on in between the two strongest and weakest trend readings. And so the lower indicator is the thing that you can use all over the platform. And that's super helpful, right? Like if you're looking for really strong Go No Go trend readings, you can find them via defining chats. So let's talk through this a little bit. The way that chats works, chats is a oscillating reading from positive 100 to negative 100. And 0 is the middle line. So anything basically like above 0 would be considered positive trend. And anything below 0 would be considered negative trend. However, the most important trend readings are between 70 and 100 on the plus side, and negative 70 and negative 100 on the negative side or the downside. So unlike an indicator like RSI, where you're looking for, or you're using it to kind of understand, are we overbought? Are we oversold? Chats is, when chats is in these really strong readings, whether it be positive or negative, you kind of want to be trading in the direction of that strong reading. So if you are in that 70 to 100 range, you want to be long. You're not looking at this as overbought. You want to be long when price is in this really strong reading. And alternatively, you want to be short. According to the indicator, you want to be short when the reading is negative 70 to negative 100. In the strongest trends, the indicator actually pins to the extremes. It pins to 100 or negative 100. So it's not uncommon at all to see the indicator just pinned up there in the extreme. What I have found to be kind of interesting is the move into the strong positive reading and the move into the strong negative reading, and also subsequently the moves out of those readings. And all of this stuff can be defined, and that is what is so cool about chats. If you're a Go No Go indicator user, and you were looking for a way to kind of loosely estimate Go No Go readings, chats is something that you can utilize for that. So like a middle of the line, the Go Fish reading, the orange candle on Go No Go could be loosely approximated as a 0 reading in the chats indicator, right? So let me show you guys something really quick. This is something that I think is pretty cool. If you go into your scanner, I'm just going to look for a couple of different chats setups. So we're going to say condition indicator. I'm going to look for daily. We're going to say chats lower index, and I'm going to say is less than a constant value of 70, and I'm going to call it 1 candle ago. So 1 candle ago, it was less than 70. I'm going to duplicate this condition. If you're not familiar with condition duplication, you can duplicate conditions in all of your in your scanner, strategy tester, multi-factor alerts, anywhere where you're scripting conditions, you can duplicate them using this button right here. So I'm duplicating this condition. I'm going to switch less than to greater than a constant value of 70. So essentially what we're looking for, and I'm going to change this to 0. So what we're looking for here is a move out of the strong reading into a very strong reading. Now, that's just one little thing that we can do, I'll pop this. I'll just run this scan real quick and see if we find anything. My guess is that we're not going to find anything in the 30. Maybe we will on the daily, but I kind of doubt it. Ooh, this is a little slower than I would anticipate. Hold on one second. I'm going to hit up our dev right now. So let's go to KO here. Let's go to the daily. All right, so we can see, zoom in on the daily. Here's our move, our cross up on that strong trend reading. You can see it goes from that kind of shady gray-green color to a bright green. So now we're entering into this like strong trend again on the daily here on KO. And if we look at the chat's version of that, it hasn't popped into that blue color yet, which is the strongest reading. So it's kind of interesting. Microsoft also getting back into that positive 70 territory, and past couple days, same look here on Go No Go. So perhaps this is a scan or an idea that can kind of help you find that move back into that really strong reading. Now on Microsoft here, we've been in the doldrums. It's been strong. It's just been consolidating sideways, but been in kind of the doldrums of that really strong reading for the past couple of days. Well, if we wanted to, we could actually define that a little bit, right? So now I've just reduplicated that less than 70 reading, and I'm just going to go and make this 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And I'm going to search a bigger list. Because presumably you might want to find something that hasn't been strong for a while, right? And so this is kind of going to help us find that. See how we are coming, we've been in that less than super strong reading for a period of candles as opposed to just one candle. So here we're finding it. If you wanted to find something really extreme, maybe you could say it was less than 5 candles ago, right? It was less than 70 for the past few, but it was actually less than 0 just 5 candles ago, and now it's super strong. Let's see if anything comes up. I kind of doubt anything's going to come up. All right, so that is a crazy move, right, on Philip Morris. This in just a couple of weeks, it's gone from pretty darn weak to pretty darn strong. So this might be something to keep an eye on. Like, okay, that trend obviously just changed very, very quickly for this name. And maybe we need to put this on our radar. Maybe we don't want to be going long like into these old highs here, but maybe we want to put it on our radar as like, wow, that was a very fast move back to a really strong reading. So a couple of different ways that you can be thinking about how to utilize this indicator that we just went over. Another thing you can do, right? Hold on one second. Sorry, Deb is reaching out. While I'm waiting to hear back from Dev here, does anybody have any questions about this, what we just went over? If you don't have any questions, that's fine. But if you do, hit me with them. So this same idea that we just kind of went over. Oh, hold on. Sorry. Okay. Hey, sorry guys. I'm sorry. This is an important question. I gotta answer this. I apologize. If anybody has anything, hit me with it. Have I tried any of the paid Chandi indicators from the TrendSpider store? I didn't know there were any. Hold on, let's do this. I know that there are some paid go-no-go indicators that should be in there. I have tried those. But I didn't know that there were paid Chandi ones. What are they? Where's the paid TrendSpider store? It's up, but it's quietly up. Hold on. I'm gonna be honest and tell you that I actually don't even know where it is because I haven't even seen it yet. I'm embarrassed to say that, but I'm an honest person here. I tell you guys how it is. Hold on. Let me get a link. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Ah. All right, so this is the soft launch. Here you go. Yeah, you know, we haven't really talked about it that much. Let me see what these are, though. This is interesting because I haven't seen this. Chandi Arch, Chandi Pals, Chandi Fama, Chandi Blast. No, I've not used any of these, in fact. Cool. I'll have to look into it. I'm not sure if I would even have access to this. I would maybe have to buy them, but maybe that's not the case. I don't want to say that and that not be true. Fun. Yeah, so Haverel, I can't speak to them. I've not tried them, but I'll see if I can get some access to them and then play around with them and let you know my my findings. So this is like the, you know, the relatively bullish trend into strong bullish trend idea. We could take this the other direction too, right? We could say, let's say a new scanner. Oh, does anybody want this? If anybody wants this, let me know. I'll save it and send it. It's kind of a really basic idea. I don't know if anybody wants a specific. Actually, let's talk about this instead of me just asking if you want this. Is there anything that you guys want with this this like strong trend idea? Is there any like basic scan that you would want that I can build really quick and I can send to you? No pressure, of course. Don't mean to put you on the spot. Larry. All right, Larry wants it. Do you want this one where it goes from kind of like below 0 to above 70 quickly? Do you want that, or do you just want the like less than 70 to greater than 70? Kind of the bullish to more bullish. Do you have a preference? to me, the way that I would think about using this, like a move like this, let's go back to one chart here. And let me just turn on this instead of go, no go. To me, this is a very, very fast move. And you can see kind of what happened last time they did this. They sold off. As soon as it hit this like strong trend reading, it sold off. But they held lows, which is interesting. And they've reversed this so quickly. This to me would be like put it on your radar, but maybe don't go long yet. Just because you might want to see a bit of either consolidation here or a bit of a retrace. They might be going for these old highs and then reverse it or something. This would be like sit on your hands, but worth keeping an eye on. All right, so we're just going 70 to below 70 to above 70. All right, so let's do that real quick. Chats. 70 flip. We'll call it the chats 70 flip bullish. And say save. Let's run this scan really quick. And let's share this scan. If anybody here is new to TrendSpider, you guys this is your first time kind of seeing the platform in action. One of the really cool things about the platform, there are many, but one of the really cool things is I can build scanners and I can send them to you. So here is that scanner for you, Sir Larry Johnson. I believe, Larry, you've been here before because I think I've told you that I grew up next to a Larry Johnson. One of my best buddies' dad's names was Larry Johnson. If it's you, it's good to see you, sir. Hope you've been well. I doubt it's you. All right, so that same idea in reverse. Let's go ahead and build that because you guys might want that too. Pretty simple. I'm going to go over here and say new scanner. And we're going to say indicator, daily chats, is greater than a constant value of -70. I'm going to duplicate. I'm going to say is less than a constant value of -70. We're going to make this one candle ago. It was greater than -70, and now? No! Larry Johnson, don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. If you are the real Larry Johnson that I grew up next door to, what was your address? What is this background music? This is hilarious sounding. Okay, so EQT, only name meeting this criteria, going from -70 to less than -70. Ugly here, but it's the one that's meeting it. So let's do this. We're going to call this chats. -70 flip bearish. Say save. I'm going to share this guy with you too so that you have it. Oh, got it. Yeah, I thought I recognized you. All right, let's share this with you so that you have it too. In big raging bull markets like the one that we are currently in, you don't want to be going long names that are dumping into lousy negative trend territory. So this would be names to avoid being bullish on. So hopefully for anybody who, like I said, is familiar. What's up? Why not? Long time no see. How you been? What's going on? For anybody who's familiar with Go No Go and was looking for solutions to kind of replicate Go No Go, but in your scanner, in your strategy tester, and so on, everywhere else in the platform, maybe for your alerts, utilize chats. This thing is really cool. I built a strategy not too long ago. Netflix and chats. Let's talk about this really quick. Because if memory serves, it worked really well. Hold on, let's rerun this. Yeah, so here is the Netflix and chats. You guys like how I did that? Netflix and chats. Get it? Get it? Yeah, okay. So what this looks for, hold on, TS having pre-built scans that can be tweaked by the user. Of course. Does TS have a bid-ask spread scanner? No. So let me show you something really quick. If you go in Market Scanner, we're going to go back to that Netflix and chats, and I just say, like, I don't know, falling wedge. I always like to show this thing off. I go to falling wedge scanner. So this is a shared scanner that is available in all TrendSpider accounts. You don't have to load it up. You don't have to do anything. Yeah, Brian, you got the right idea. You got the right idea. This is TrendSpider and Chill. I need to change the title of this show from Office Hours to TrendSpider and Chill, don't I? Maybe we'll do that tomorrow, or Friday rather. So when you load up a shared scanner, it's going to come with this prompt. This scanner does not belong to you. You can play with it, but you need to make your own copy to be able to save your changes. So you asked if the pre-built scans can be tweaked. So just click make your own copy here. And what it's going to do is it's going to make a copy of that scan. So it says copy falling wedge breakout. And those conditions are here. And now we can start adding things to it, whatever we wanted to add. If you wanted to add a candlestick pattern, you could do it. If you wanted to add price action conditions, you could do it. Whatever you want. Totally up to you. If you want to change the time frame on these things, change the time frame, dude. The only thing you got to do is you got to make your own copy. Them's the rules. And then once you make your own copy, what I would do is I would retitle it. Instead of copy, I would remove that. And I would say, like, whenever I edit something or whenever I make something for myself, wherever I make a scanner or something like that for myself, I always hashtag it with my name, the title. And the reason why I do that, I say save. When I go over here and I type in Jason, oh darn, hold on. Type in Jason, and everything that I've made that has my name on it, it immediately comes up. So that's what I would recommend for you too. NES, NES, maybe your NES, maybe your NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System. Are you the actual Nintendo Entertainment System talking to us live in TrendSpider, in this episode of TrendSpider and Chill? TrendSpider and Chill would actually be a really great name for this. It's better than Office Hours, to be honest. I want to... we need to vote on it. Everybody who thinks I should change the title of this show to TrendSpider and Chill, give me like a 1. Just say TrendSpider and Chill. Everybody who thinks we should keep it called Office Hours, give me a 2. I have a feeling 1's going to win. So does that help you, NES, NES? Does that explain it? The bid-ask spread scanner, unfortunately, is not available. But perhaps, well, no, because we don't have bid-ask. We don't have that data on the platform. Perhaps that's something that will come in the future? Yeah, see? 1. Let's chill. Yeah, all right. Ah, that's funny. All right. Well, I'm gonna talk to the team and see if we can change this to TrendSpider and Chill, because TrendSpider and Chill is so much better. Oh, Nez says too. Nez, you say office hours. Interesting. Okay. A little more refined, a little more dignified. Too professional for my laid-back nature. Yes, Molly, you got the right idea. It's just not me. I'm too chill for this. Registering the TM. That's funny. Okay. So yes, Nez, we got it. You understand how this works. If you have any other questions about that, please do let me know. I'm happy to answer those questions if you have them. But while I wait on that, only chilling I'm getting is from the market. Market is kind of chilling, isn't it? Let me show you this. So Netflix and chats. And I could share this with you guys too if you want it. We shared it when I made it. We shared it on socials and in our email blog. Let me ask you guys this. Have y'all seen our email? Are you guys signed up to our email blast? Like our once a week email market update thing? If you're not signed up for that, I'm going to get you a link because we work really hard on it and it's really cool. There's a ton of information in there, like kind of a crazy amount of information. Let me grab a link really quick. It's free. You don't have to do nothing. You just got to sign up for it. Let me find it. I've been writing this like weekly blog for the past 2 years. And we finally decided to like take it to the next level and give you guys a ton of information with it. Here. That is a sign up list or the sign up form for the Trade Ideas Market Review. Weekly. This goes out every weekend. Ooh, I just found a spelling error. Hold on. Okay, you'd like to fill the BA spread because you don't want to pay more than half a cent for an instrument. I understand that. Can you show us an example how to leverage the ChatGPT platform to enhance our strategy scans? All right, so let's talk about ChatGPT. I actually made a video about this, Nez, and the video is going to summarize this better than I can even do in this particular moment. Let me show you. I'm going to share the video with you. Because what I did in this video... Hold on. Let me find it. Here we go. I used it to literally create a strategy for me. Here you go. And the way that I did this, I used 5 prompts. And I just said, like, give me a list of tickers. I can't remember exactly what the 5 prompts were. It's been a moment since I made this. Provide me a list of strategies. Provide me make the strategies a little bit more specific. Create a set of parameters for the strategy. Provide a list of the best stocks to trade with this strategy. And then variations. And then I asked it for variations on the strategy that could help it perform better. And surprisingly, or maybe not so surprisingly, it led me to a strategy on Tesla that like did quite well. Sweet. Why not? Awesome. Hopefully you'll find this email fascinating. Like I said, we do work quite hard on it, and there's a ton of information in there. What's actually really cool about it, if you're not like wildly familiar with the platform, it's a laundry list of data that is available on the platform that you might not have known was available. So that's what's cool about it. Like, we go in on Fridays, me and my colleagues, we utilize seasonality to kind of like find what tickers have the best performance next week, what tickers have the worst performance next week. Like earnings data, interesting insider actions, whether it be buys or sells or whatever, interesting analyst estimate information. If some ticker is getting a bunch of attention from analysts right now, we'll call it out, because these are things that you have to like go digging for. The data's there, but you have to go digging for it. And so we do the digging for you and then spit it back to you so that hopefully it can kind of inspire you for digging around in the platform and also for potentially finding trade ideas for the week to come. So Nez, take some time, watch that video, because it is pretty cool. I had my doubts, honestly. I had my doubts about whether or not ChatGPT was going to help me. And what it really did, what I found, other than it kind of led me to a strategy that worked quite well, it just inspired me to try things. Like it said, here are some basic things that you can try. Does the TS platform support plugins from... Man, I wish. Dude, I wish. Those dudes are galaxy brains. They are so smart. Brent at Spot Gamma, that dude is a brilliant dude. What I would love to see, Nez, and what I almost expect to happen in the future is this. We just talked about the TrendSpider store. I expect at some point in the future, tools from people like Spot Gamma will arrive via this store. Now, how and when that works, I honestly don't know. That's a little bit above my pay grade. But that's kind of where my head would be at, is hopefully they'll be able to build some stuff that then they can sell here. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But right now, no, there's no way to pull. As far as I know, now we do offer custom scripting on the platform right here, custom indicator scripting. If you know how to write JavaScript code, well, by all means, go to town. If you can pull their data somehow, and then you could build it out into an indicator, then perhaps you might be able to build something on your own. But zip around a chart forwards and backwards. I mean, your scroll wheel. Your scroll wheel up and down is going to do your zooming in and zooming out. Zooming in and out are when you use your scroll wheel, you see how it's like magnifying both axes. It's like resizing everything for both axes. So there's that. When you pull back on the chart, I know it's not the most form function feature. If you grab the chart and pull back, that'll get you. It's not really great for zipping around. Maybe one thing that you could do down here, quick navigation tools. See 1 day, see 5 days, see 1 month, see 3 months, see 6 months, see year to date, see 1 year, see 5 years. So perhaps this could help you. See 1 year. What would be awesome, though... Actually, let me see something. Let me try this. Yeah, they don't. I was hoping that perhaps the quick navigation timeframes had stars next to them. Because if you star things... You see how when you star timeframes, they appear to the right of your main drop-down timeframe menu? I believe you can do this up to 5. Yeah, so here's 5 favorite timeframes. So this would be a quick way to zip. Right? We're just going from quarterly to yearly to 4 hour to 1 hour. That would be the first way I would think to zip. The second way I would think to zip is utilizing these quick navigation prompts. You know also that you can click and drag the time date axis down here, and it'll increase or decrease, or it'll zoom in, zoom out on just the time axis, and you can click and drag the price axis to increase or decrease the height component. But that's not really zipping around. That's just like functionality of the chart. Does that help you, Haverel? Haverel, I saw that you're in the you're in Discord. That's dope. I hope that you're enjoying your time there. Some really cool people in our TrendSpider Discord. I will tell you guys, if you're not yet in our TrendSpider Discord, you can join our TrendSpider Discord even if you're not yet a TrendSpider trader. Here's a link. This is going to get token gated. Well, not token gated, but it's going to get locked to TrendSpider users sooner than later, I think. So if you want in on our Discord and you're not yet a TrendSpider trader, now would be the time to take advantage of that. Yeah, Gary, man, you should hang out there. You never know. You might find some folks who are interested in your streams and things. There's also some really smart people in there. You might find some strategies that are cool or some scanners that are cool. You know, people are sharing that sort of stuff. Not like crazy, but they are. So you guys, we are edging up here on an hour. I usually do about an hour. You're a boomer. It's all good, dude. You're not really a boomer. You're like on your way to being a boomer. Well, I guess you kind of are a boomer. But you don't act like a boomer, and that's what's important. Boomer is a state of mind. I'm a boomer sometimes. Especially according to some of my colleagues. Does anybody have any last questions before I jump out of here? This has been an excellent TrendSpider and Chill session. I've enjoyed hanging out with you guys. Oh, I didn't share the strategy. Let me share the strategy with you so you guys can play around with it. Maybe it will inspire you to create something of your own. Again, remember, because you can create strategies with chats, you can then implement these, right? You could turn this into a trading bot, which is pretty sweet. I mean, this thing's got like pretty gnarly returns. Almost over 100% better, almost 100% better than the asset over the same period of time. I think it's a pretty safe little strategy too. 70% win rate, average win 4.21% over the past 4 years. So like, this is taking into account, you know, all of 2022, 2021, like when the stock was doing poorly. It's taking into account. Notice, look at this. Like, it completely avoids. It tried to get into one little trade here. It actually had a winning trade here, but it mostly completely avoided this whole drawdown, which is like, you know, what else would you want out of a long bias strategy? Completely avoided this whole drawdown. It tried to get back in here at the bottom, had a losing trade here, and then it jumped right back in once it broke out. And it's just been kind of trading this entire move higher, avoiding the drawdowns. Like, look at this. It even avoids like these short-term drawdowns. Completely avoided that short-term drawdown. Jumped back in once the trend was confirmed again. This is what is cool about chats, y'all. Like, this is a pretty durable little strategy with like, not that, you know, you could see the drawdowns. This blue line is the strategy, kind of the returns of the strategy. So you can see it draws down some. But never anything like super scary. Let me see what the max drawdown on it. Max drawdown negative 28.3%. Versus the max drawdown on the asset, 76.3. All right, so let me share this with you so that you guys have it, because this is pretty cool. Tesla chart plays. You want to talk Tesla? Why are the candles slightly behind TOS? Great question, Haverel. I'll tell you why. Because TOS has unbelievable amounts of data. is really what it boils down to. Like unbelievable amounts of data. And we get our data from NYSE. That's where our main data comes from. We are in the process of migrating our data feed, and we're going to be adding NMS, or the whatever the kind of the QQQ equivalent. And I'm told that that's going to be coming very, very soon. So in essence, the data feeds that TOS utilizes, they are utilizing, I would imagine, a lot of them. Whereas we are kind of limited in, it costs, data feeds are very, very expensive. Just for your understanding of how data feeds work, just the dollar index, the DXY, costs 70 grand a year. Just for the single ticker, if that tells you anything about how much data costs. So we have QQQ or NMS data that we're testing that's in beta, that is not live on the platform. That should be live, I would say, probably within the next couple of weeks, which should speed things up quite a bit, especially on particular tickers like Apple and Netflix and Amazon and all the big QQQ stuff. So if you're seeing that lag, that is why. It's because they've got quite a few data feeds that are building their candles for them, whereas we have just the one. Or we have a secondary feed, but the secondary feed it's a little complicated. You can learn about our data feeds on there's actually a channel on the main page. Let's see here. It's kind of buried, but it's somewhere. It's somewhere in here. Market data sources. So this is the NYSE feed is a direct feed. The NASDAQ feed is like a composite feed. Here you go. See, NYSE tape A, tape B, and NASDAQ tape C. I believe, I don't know exactly what the NASDAQ tape A equivalent is, or the NASDAQ BQT. Notice how we have quite a few more NASDAQ things than we have we have quite a few more NYSE feeds than we have NASDAQ feeds. We are increasing the NASDAQ feeds to meet the same requirements as the NYSE feeds. So that should speed things up, but it's not live yet. So hopefully that's helpful for you. I'm even a little confused by all of it. So my apologies if that explanation was not as clear, as good as it should have been. Let's see. Tesla chart play. Oh, well, hold on. Let's see. Is it possible to create a hybrid indicator? For example, is it possible to combine the VIX and the VWAP or Bollinger Bands to place a threshold on the VIX to qualify a volume spike event? Well, yes. If you want to create the hybrid indicator, you would have to do that utilizing the custom indicator scripting. That, my friend, is well over my head. However, maybe it would make sense that you would want like an alert on a particular set of conditions. So let's just say, for example, if I go to, actually, let me see something. So I will tell you the VIX, the index, VIX index, $VIX, index charts are 15 minutes delayed on the platform. Whether or not that's going to change at some point, I don't really know. So if you are specifically looking for VIX conditions to be true, do know 15-minute delay there. I would use something like VIXY, or I don't know, like one of the ETFs to kind of track it. That's kind of where my head would be at. But what I was going to say, let me just turn all this stuff off so you can see this really quick. I'm going to add some Bollinger Bands here. Let's do this. If you're not familiar with the assistant, pretty powerful little tool. Can add things to your charts for you without you having to do it. And you said VWAP, add volume. So I've added a VWAP and I've added the Bollinger Bands to my chart here. What I could do if I wanted to is I could go to my multi-factor alert and I could define criteria related to VWAP and Bollinger Bands. And I could say, you know, whatever. Price 15-minute close greater than indicator V. Oop. Make a time frame here. VWAP by at least X percent. Maybe we'll say like 1%. And we'll say like the 15-minute price closed greater than the 15-minute Bollinger Band up. Right? Price is well above the VWAP and price closed above the upper Bollinger Band. Perhaps this is what you're talking about, a volume spike. If you wanted a volume spike, you could just say it. We could say indicator 15-minute volume is greater than, I don't know, a constant value of X. I don't know what average volume is on VIX. I guess we could look, but you could define it this way. You could say volume is greater than a constant value, or you could say like RVol is probably how I would do it. I would say 15-minute RVol because that's relative volume, right? So then I don't even have to know what the average volume is because it's already in there. So RVol greater than a constant value of like 3, right? An RVol of 3 would be 3x average volume for that time frame. So price above the VWAP, price closed through the upper Bollinger Band, and on above average volume. Or, you know, maybe what you would want to do, this is a lot to define at once, meaning it might not meet all of this criteria at once. Like you might get the move that you're looking for, but it might do all of these things, but not on the same candle. So you could say like happened within X candles, or you could even take that a step farther. I'm going to say happen. I'm going to say that it's greater than 1%. It's above the upper Bollinger Band. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a condition group, and I'm going to say that indicator 15-minute RVol is greater than a constant value of, let's say, 2 or 3 or whatever you want to say. But let's say this happened within the past like 5 candles, because, you know, these two things can be true at once, but that RVol is tricky, isn't it? That RVol is tricky to define because you may not get that RVol move on the same candle on which these other two conditions are true, but you may get it and then get the other two conditions, right? So this may be the thing that causes these two things to be true. So by sequestering it in its own little condition group and saying that it happened anytime within the past 5 candles, then you get both. You get that, hey, we're above the Bollinger Band, we are above the VWAP, and within the past 5 candles, you had some 15-minute candle in which that RVol value was true. So you can save this if you wanted to. You call this like, you know, volume, I don't know, volume rush or something. You can choose how long you want this to live in your system. I'm just going to max it out, 90 days. You can choose how many times you want to be triggered on it, up to 20 times. And what this means is that over the next 90 days, these conditions could occur up to 20 times, and you're going to get alerts each of those 20 times to let you know that these conditions have occurred. So essentially, like, you're creating it, and then you're kind of like, nah, forget about it. I don't need to worry about it. The alert is created, and it's living in my alerts system right here, VIXY Volume Rush. Anytime these conditions are true over the next 90 days, you're going to get an alert to let you know that they're true. Does that make sense? And then if you wanted to, like if you had multiple tickers, let's say you wanted that condition on Apple. You wanted to be alerted when those conditions were true on Apple too. You could go to your Apple chart here and then go to your alert right here and click on the clone icon. You see how it's now taken that volume rush alert that we just made for VIXY. See how it says create multi-factor alert on Apple? Well, now all of those conditions are defined for Apple too. Same expiry, same triggers, create alert, and now it's on Apple as well. So you can like duplicate these alerts onto other names. Another thing that you can do with this, just so you know, I could save this via these 3 dots. I could save this as a template. I'm going to call it Volume Rush. Check this out. And I'm going to say save. And then I'm going to go send to. And I can go to like market scanner and look what it just did. It took those conditions that I just used for the alert. It sent it to my market scanner. So now I could like scan the market for anything that's meeting this criteria right now. Pretty dope, right? My name is Jason Krutzky. You can find me on Twitter at Krutzky Trades. Right there. Oh no, I spelled my name wrong. Oops. Hold on, let me delete that. Let me spell it correctly. There you go. At Krutzky Trades. So nothing in the S&P 500 meeting this criteria right now. Not a huge surprise. Awesome, Brandon. Happy to have you. Thank you for subscribing. If anybody is tuned in right now and you're not yet subscribed to the channel, I'm going to tell you something. You might watch other streams from other streamers, and they might say things like, subscribe and like, subscribe and like, subscribe and like. And the reason why they do that is because it actually is really helpful. So I know it's kind of annoying that all of us streaming people are always saying, subscribe and like, subscribe and like. But in order for me to be kind of A-okay to keep doing these, I'll tell you what, those subscriptions and those likes help me. Because my team sees them and my team goes, oh yeah, we do need to keep doing those TrendSpider and chills because people like them and people find them valuable. So if you guys can like this stream, if y'all can subscribe to the channel, if you don't already, please do that. That helps me out. That helps you out in the future. It's dividends on the future, right? Because if you subscribe to TrendSpider and then you have a question, well, just wait a day at the very most, usually, for a TrendSpider and chill session. It looks like, did my camera just stop working? It looks like my camera, it looks like I'm like completely paused. Oh, okay, there I am again. So Nez, it's been a pleasure. I'm really glad that you were here because, you know, whenever anybody asks me stuff like this, I don't always think to just do things like this. So having you guys prompt me into doing things like this is really helpful. So yeah, so thank you for that. I appreciate your questions. Questions are always helpful. The more questions, the merrier. Because then I know that you guys are really, you're really listening and you're really curious. So with that, y'all, I'm going to get on out of here. We will be back again on Friday. Nice. Here we go. Let's go. Why not? I'll be back again on Friday, probably around the same time, somewhere between like 10 and 12 Eastern. Yeah, I hope that some of you guys will join and hang out. And in between now and then, if you think of any questions that you might want to ask me on Friday, write those questions down. And we will address them on Friday. Why not? You are the man. Appreciate you. I'm so glad that you were here. I'm so glad that you learned something new today. That is what we're here to do. We're here to teach folks how to utilize TrendSpider and maybe a little bit about trading too, you know? So yes, we'll see you guys on Friday. If you're not yet a TrendSpider user, there has never been a better time than right now, because if you look just to my, this way, left, you'll see we are celebrating St. Patrick's Day with up to 67% off your first year here at TrendSpider. So take advantage of that discount if you're not already a TrendSpider trader. We'd love to have you on the platform. Have a great rest of your day. Trade them well. Holler if you need me. You know where to find me on Twitter. My DMs are open, so feel free to reach out if you need something. And we'll see you guys on Friday, yeah? All right. Take care, everybody. Thanks again for being here. We'll see you guys real soon. Bye.